Hi everyone, this is Etho, and I have a very special tutorial for you guys today. This is one I've been meaning to make for a long time. It's about water. Uh, Water is one of the most abundant blocks in Minecraft. It's all around you, and yet, in my opinion, it is the most complicated block in Minecraft. Um, a lot of people don't fully understand how it works, myself included, and quite often it will do things you don't expect it to. So today's tutorial is to hopefully fill you on some information on how water works. Even if you're an expert at this game, you might be surprised that you may learn something in this tutorial. So I will be covering basics with it, and I'll also look at advanced things about water. And I'll try to do this in as straightforward manner as I can. So let's begin. Water can be moved using a bucket. Select your bucket, right-click on the water block. Your bucket becomes full of water, and right-click it again where you want to place it. A water source block can be destroyed in three ways. One way is by placing a water block in the same location as another water block. That just destroyed it. A second way is by having lava flow over top it. That destroyed both those. And a third way is by placing another block inside the same location as a water source block. The only way to create new water blocks is to have an air block with two or more water blocks adjacent to it. So if I place a water block here, and destroy the soil block so that it becomes an air block, then a new water block is created where that air block would be. And you can create infinite water doing this. That's with 4 adjacent to it. Still works. To create new water blocks in this way, one condition must be met. The block underneath the air block must be solid. So in this case, sand is underneath, so that works. Also, semi-solid blocks such as pressure plates, signs, doors also will create new water blocks. You can see it's creating new ones. It will not work if there is an air block underneath the air block. When I click in the center here, there is no new water to pick up. It also will not work if there's a water block underneath the air block. The one I picked up was the one below. If I try to pick up any more, there is none. So by applying this, it's safe to pick up water blocks anywhere where the water is only 1 deep, and a new block will form where that air pocket was. But if you attempt to do this where the water is greater than 1 block deep, in this case it's 2 blocks deep, that air pocket will not create a new water block because there's water underneath it. You can fix these water streams by running solid blocks up to 1 block below the surface, and it will cause a water block to form. The best way to create an infinite water stream is to dig out a 2x2 area, place water in each corner diagonally from each other. So place one here, and now it's safe to pick water up from any of these 4 blocks. In a way, water can be created and destroyed in the form of ice as well. Breaking ice will create water, and in snowy biomes, water will freeze into ice when it is snowing. It's also possible to destroy ice without it producing water if there is air underneath it. And in that way you are kind of destroying water as well. A water source block or a water stream will always try to spread in 5 directions. Placing it here causes it to spread downward, and removing the blocks on the sides will cause it to spread north, south, west, east as well. On flat ground, a water source block is able to spread up to 7 blocks away from itself in all 4 directions. The placeable water block I refer to as a source, and these other water blocks I refer to as water stream blocks. A water stream that hits the ground after flowing downward will create a new type of block that I refer to as a stream source. You cannot pick this block up. It acts just like a regular water source, except that you can't pick it up, and it will also spread 7 blocks away from the source. So this is 14 blocks away from our original water source. If we remove it, it removes all these water blocks. This spreading only occurs if there's a solid block underneath. If there is air or water, it does not happen. It does not try to spread to these blocks. A water stream will spread up to 7 blocks away from a water source, but in order to move 1 block diagonally, the water must move 2 positions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In a large flat area, a water source will flow out 7 blocks all around itself, which looks like this. Because of the way it flows diagonally, it creates a diamond shape rather than a circle. When water is spreading, it will always attempt to find the shortest route of going down. So in this case, this hole here is only 2 blocks away from the gravel. This hole is 3 blocks away. This one's 3 blocks away. And this one's 4 blocks away. So it's going to go to this hole. If we were to remove that closest hole, then the next closest holes becomes this one, 3 blocks apart, and this one, which is also 3 blocks apart. So they're an even distance from the water, so the water will split and go to both of them. Now I've made all 4 of the drops an equal distance from the water, so the water must flow 3 blocks to each of them, and so the water will go to all 4 of them. But in order for the water to flow diagonally, we need to remove blocks in a diamond shape. And so for the water to get to this one here, it has to go forward, right, block. That's 3. To get to that one, it would need to go 1, 2, 3. So it's an equal distance for all these holes around me. And so because of that, the water will flow in a diamond shape. Water has one interesting feature that a lot of people are not aware of. Even though water can spread 7 blocks from its source, it will only scan 5 blocks around it for the quickest route down. So the quickest route here is 5 blocks away, and so it goes that way. But if we were to extend this to 6 blocks, it won't scan past that 5th block, and so the water will spread everywhere. So a water source or a stream source will always flow to the shortest route down, or routes if there's more than one, and they're even. But every source is also capable of flowing in that 7 radius diamond that we saw before. So it's possible, even though this route has been decided already, it's possible for us to make it spread further by having another water stream touch this existing one. So if I was to place a water block here, it would flow toward this hole and its 2 streams would connect. like that. And then if I was to remove it, well, then this stream would be extended to the full 7th length. And so, let's see another example. What would happen if I placed it here? Well, it causes a chain reaction, which makes it spread in that diamond shape. If I was to place it over here, it would do the same thing. And so by doing that, you can cause the water to extend out in that full diamond, however you want it to. Let's look at another example. Let's say we place a water block here, and we want it to flow down there, but we also want the water to go all the way up to the door. How can we make that happen? Well, we need a water stream to touch this one here above the sand. So one way we could do that is to place our water against the soil here. A stream will flow down, and when we remove it, the water is now going all the way up to the door, and it's also flowing down. An easier way of setting up your water stream in this example would have been to leave this flat first, place your water, and then remove the block in the middle. And that will cause the water to flow down, and it's already flowing to the door. The stream source blocks created from a water source, there's one here, will not be destroyed by removing blocks around it, nor will it move. This is what happens when I remove the soil molding that was around my water there. The water source block still remains over there, and the stream source is still over there. And I've created a water wall. It's possible to create huge walls of water doing this. But if I remove the one and only water source, the whole wall will be destroyed. Water is able to destroy many different types of blocks and uproot them. This includes buttons, levers, wheat, saplings, fire, torches, redstone torches, repeaters, redstone dust, flowers, mushrooms, tall grass, and a few other things as well. If a water stream touches a lava stream, the water stream will be converted into cobblestone. If a water stream touches a lava source block, the lava source block will be converted into obsidian. One interesting water glitch: if a water source block or water stream has a downward water stream or lava stream on the east side of it, sun rises in the east, it becomes impossible to jump out of that block. And this works with lava too. It's impossible to jump out of the water. Mobs or players that are set on fire can have the flames extinguished by stepping in water. Players and mobs are able to hold their breath for 15 seconds underwater. Except, of course, squid, they can hold their breath forever. After 15 seconds, you'll start drowning and take constant damage. But even though you're taking damage, it is possible to survive for long periods of time by eating food to replenish your health. When underwater, it takes your player 5 times longer to destroy a block than it normally would. Water placed on top of grass will eventually kill the grass, but it takes a very long time. Water is very useful for creating barriers to prevent grass from spreading to regular soil blocks. It's quick to apply and quick to remove. Water is not required to make saplings grow, nor is it required to make mushrooms spread, and you don't need it to grow cactus either. One water source block or stream can hydrate tilled soil 4 blocks in all directions in a square pattern, making this a 9 by 9 watered section. Having watered soil is required to grow wheat normally, but it is also possible to grow wheat in dry soil using bone meal instantly. Water is also required to plant sugarcane. The water must be adjacent to the soil block, but it's only required for planting it. You can remove it after it's been planted, but it will automatically harvest itself if it grows or if a block adjacent to it gets updated, such as by redstone. You can also plant it if you only have a water stream next to the soil block. You can cause it to uproot using water as well by updating the adjacent block next to it. And on its own, over time, if there's water nearby, it will grow 3 high. Once water finishes spreading, it will not continue to check if it should spread unless a block adjacent to the water gets updated. This makes it possible to control water one time using things such as redstone or levers. Water spreads at a rate of about 1 block every 5 ticks, which is about 1 block every quarter second. By comparison, a redstone torch, it takes a current about 2 ticks to pass through, or about 1/10 of a second. Proof of this claim can be seen in this experiment here. This torch on the left will go off at the exact same time this torch on the right goes on. The one on the right is being timed by water. The water must move left, down, left, left to destroy this lever, which is 4 blocks it must spread to. And 4 times 5 is 20 ticks, which is about 1 second. The repeaters, on the other hand, they're set to 4, 4, 2, which is 10 torch delays, or 20 ticks, or 1 second. So it's the same timing. Let's see if it works. It does. By applying this, it's possible to use water as a timing device that is very accurate. When creepers or TNT explode in water, they will still apply the same amount of damage to their surroundings and the same amount of boost, but they will not destroy any of the blocks surrounding them. Water will absorb the blast destruction from TNT even at its lowest level. If 2 water streams meet each other of equal length, and there is an even number of blocks between them, so 1, 2, then they will be moving. If they meet at equal length and there's an odd number of blocks between them, 1, 2, 3, then the one in the middle will be a dead spot. So for example, if we were to place a water source block here and one here and try to get them both to meet and flow to this end here, We would have a problem for this setup because the source block here flows 1, 2, 3, and then this one here would flow 1, 2, and the third one would be here. So this would create a dead zone because that's an odd number. But we could fix this by making an even number. We just need to move this one back one block. It'll be an equal distance that way, and then they can merge here. Just one example. There are 8 block types that are particularly useful when controlling water in Minecraft. One is the reed or sugarcane, doors, half slabs, stairs, signs, pressure plates, ladders, and trapdoors. What's unique about all of these? None of them get washed away by water, for one thing, and they all have air pockets. Doors and reeds are particularly useful for creating air pockets underwater to breathe in, but also you can use trapdoors for this. They hold back the water, but they have air pockets that allow you to breathe. You can use signs for this and also ladders. And while we're down here, I'll mention that jack-o'-lanterns and glowstone are the only 2 light-emitting blocks you can place in water directly. Sugarcane, signs, and pressure plates have no collision mask, so they are effectively air blocks that water cannot pass into. So that's what's unique about them. These other blocks, ladders, half slabs, and stairs have unique shapes and air pockets in them as well. Half slabs and stairs you can walk up, and so can mobs, which is useful for certain things, such as setting up mob spawning grounds. Doors and trapdoors have a collision mask that changes, which is very unique as well. And lots of these things double in function. Pressure plates can activate redstone. Doors and trapdoors are affected by redstone. You can climb up ladders. Signs can tell you things. And you can walk up these, and so on. When items are thrown in water, they sink to the bottom. If they're thrown in a water stream, the stream will carry them with it, and as of the 1.6.6 patch, items move at a rate of about 1.45 blocks per second. A water stream above ice will move the items much faster. I've timed it at 5 blocks per second. Items are likely to flow slowly if they pass through a source block and there's another water block above. Look how slow that one's going. So, one way of increasing the speed of this is to use a sign to block the water from flowing, and then have another water source right below it. And that way it will quickly go through it. When mobs are in water, they will try to swim upward. This is except for squid and slimes. They do not try to swim up. The fact that mobs try to swim in water and items sink in water makes it extremely easy to separate the two if you ever need to. Just place a sign. The sign will hold the water up. The mobs will pass by it, and the items will fall down it. A very simple way of separating them. So water is used to push items. Can also be used to push mobs and players. Water will not push minecarts anymore. It will not push TNT anymore as of 1.6.6. It will, however, push boats. It's possible to have water streams push your player or mobs up one block with no dead zones. Simply have a half slab or stair and then place a sign to the left of it up diagonally, and then place a new water source above your stair, and then the water will bring you or the mob up one block and continue on. Water can also be used to slow a player down and reset their fall distance. So at the bottom of this shaft is a water block. Normally falling this far would kill me, but because of this water block, I take no damage. This is called a water break. It's just a water block being held up by a sign 3 blocks above the ground. The easiest way to transport your player across water is to use a boat, which you can craft in this way. Place it on the boat, on the water, and then you can maneuver it and go wherever you want on the water. Traveling by boat is very fast, but advanced uses of water and boats in a system called EATS is even faster. Using the system, it's possible to reach speeds equal to that of minecarts, which is 8 blocks per second. When a boat is in a water source block, it will attempt to float up, and using this principle, it's possible to make water elevators such as that. But that is a subject for another tutorial. Boats will also float up water stream blocks if there are air blocks or water blocks on all 4 sides of them, as you can see here. Players can also swim up these very quickly, comparable to that of climbing ladder speed. A boat will not flow up a stream block if one of the stream blocks has a solid block on one of its sides. So since there's a soil block here, the boat will not float up past this point here. Just like that. If we remove it, it will. Well, that concludes my tutorial on water. It's a block with many uses, as you've seen. I covered many points this tutorial, but believe it or not, there are many more that I could have covered, and I just didn't have time to. So, hopefully, this tutorial was useful for you, though. I thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. And that is all. Bye-bye.